everyone, today I'll be showing you how to add a pistol to the Advanced Locomotion System project, as well as switching between them with our 1, 2, and 3 keys. So let's get started. So the first thing I'll do is create the pistol blueprint. So we already have the M4, BP_M4 blueprint, but we can create another child of the base gun by right-clicking on it and pressing Create Child Blueprint Class. I'll call it BP_pistol. The skeletal mesh I'll change to the M9, the default skeletal mesh included in the ALS project, and then the muzzle location I'll move to the muzzle of the gun. You can decrease the snapping or disable it by pressing the grid icon so you can position it perfectly. Okay, in the player blueprint, in the base character blueprint, ls_base_character BP, we need to add 2 sockets on the character mesh for the socket for where the weapons will be attached when they're holstered. So you can open the Animan skeletal mesh, go to the skeleton, and so first the rifle, I'll add on the, you can search for spine, spine 3, it's this bone. You can right click on it and say add socket. I'll call it S_rifle holster, and to position the socket to where the weapon will be attached, we can add a preview asset and search for the M4, the skeletal mesh, and you can see it is not positioned correctly. So if we get the rifle holster socket, you can move it into position and we can position it like so. Make sure it the weapon does not stick out too much to the sides, otherwise the character's arms will clip through it while running. So that should be good. And then we can add another socket for the pistol. We'll add that on the thigh R. So same process, right click, add socket, S_pistol holster, add preview asset M9, yes, the M9, and position the pistol as well. You can also disable the rotation snapping, which is also useful sometimes. There you go. So the preview assets are only for positioning sockets. They're not actually visible or even there in game, so there's still nothing on the character. But in the base character BP, we can duplicate the spawn M4 code and the attach actor to component, and instead of spawning another M4, we'll do the pistol, BP_pistol, And instead of setting it to the primary weapon, I'll duplicate the primary weapon variable and call it secondary weapon. And just replace the variable, so we spawn a pistol and set it to the secondary weapon, and we'll attach it to the socket we just created, so s_pistol holster. So now we also have a pistol. So to switch between weapons, we will need to have another variable and call it selected weapon slot of type integer, not a float, an integer, and by default it should be 1. So 1 will be primary weapon, 2 will be the secondary weapon or the pistol, and then 0 will be unequipped, so both weapons will be in their holster. We can create a function, call it get equipped weapon, and for that we'll drag in the selected weapon slots, the primary and the secondary weapon, and add a select, press add pin. Option 1 will be primary weapon, option 2 will be secondary weapon, index will be selected weapon slot, option 0 will leave open, and we'll add a return node. Drag the return value onto the return node. Return value will work. Off of the select return value, we can type is valid, the function, and also put that, also drag that onto the return node. We'll rename the output to is valid question mark, and that should be it for the get equipped weapon. We'll add another function, call it equip weapon. So when we equip a weapon, we need to have another input, and that will be the weapon slot. So just slot and of type integer. So we'll add a branch. If the slot is equal to 0, then we'll unequip. We'll unequip both weapons. But if it is not 0, then we have to attach actor to actor. Sorry, attach actor to component. The target will be a select, and we'll select it on the depending on the slot. So if the slot is 1, so first we'll unequip the weapon that was equipped. So if the slot is the new weapon slot we're equipping is 1, we want to unequip the previous weapon, which would be the secondary weapon. So if we're equipping the rifle, we want to unequip the secondary weapon, the pistol. So this is correct. And then primary weapon will go into option 2. Option 0 will be empty. Location rule will be snap to target. Rotation will be snap to target. And scale will be keep world. The parent will be the mesh, and the socket name will be a select, not select name, normal select, not that. normal select, and we'll also select based on the slot. So option 1 will be the secondary weapon, so this will be the pistol socket, S underscore pistol holster, and option 2 will be a rifle holster, S underscore rifle holster. Okay, and then we'll add another attach actor to component. This will be the opposite of this select, so I'll just duplicate this one. The target will be the select, and the primary weapon will be option 1, and the secondary weapon will be option 2. Index is also based on slot. By the way, in a function, if there's an input, you can also right click and search for that. So slot, get slot. So this will be the same as that one, just to keep things more organized. Just like that. The parent will be the mesh again. Socket name will be this one, the VB RHS IK handgun. So just like that, snap to target, and keep world. On unequip, we'll have 2 attach actor to components. This is the true of the equip weapon slot equals 0 branch. So the target will be the primary weapon. The second attach actor to component will be the secondary weapon, and their socket names will be their corresponding sockets. So the primary weapon will be a rifle holster, not like that, and the secondary weapon will be pistol holster. Parent will be mesh on both of those. Okay, so we need a input action event, the 1, 2, and 3 keys for selecting the weapon. So the select rotation mode is for, well, let me show you. For switching between having the character in the middle or having the character, having you look over the shoulder of the character. So in a game you probably will not need that, so I'll disconnect both of those and move them to the side, and just add a debug key 3, just like that. And on all 3 of them, this is just for testing. We'll create permanent or new input actions later. So the pressed will be equipped weapon on all 3 of them, and rotation mode 1, which will be the 1 key, will be slot 1. Rotation mode 2 will be 2, and debug key 3 will be 0. 0 is unequipping both weapons. So let's see if I go to 2. Yes, wrong key. I go into the pistol, but it's still in the rifle animation mode, and 3, they're both unequipped. So to fix this, on the BP underscore base gun, we'll add a new variable, and that will be anim mode of type overlay state, I think, yes, ALS overlay state, and by default it will be a rifle. So in the pistol blueprint, you can go to class defaults and set the anim mode to pistol one-handed or two-handed. So in the base character BP, in the equip weapon, on the unequip parts of the code after the on the true branch, we'll state values. We'll set the overlay state. So just search for overlay state. We'll set that to default because we unequip both weapons. But on the false of the branch, we'll set that to the get equipped weapon. Also, we can click on the get equipped weapon and turn it into a pure function. So the return value will be, or from the return value, you can drag off and search for overlay or anim. I think anim mode. Yeah, that variable we just created in the gun blueprint, weapon blueprint. So now it should update the animation state as well. So let me see. It is not working as expected. Just checking the anim man character, the child. If you go to the functions, held object, update held object, can remove both of the pistol one-handed, and pistol two-handed. So the slot after the equip weapon start, we have to set the selected weapon slot to the slot. Now it will work. So in the rifle state, then go to pistol, and then unarmed. Now an issue is if I have the pistol and I'm firing, it still shoots from the rifle. So that's an easy change. On the base character player input graph, on the shoot event, the target should be get equipped weapon, the return value, and also we have to add a branch, and the condition is the is valid, because if we have, I'll show you, if we remove the branch and I go to the, I press 3, I can't shoot and I get a bunch of errors because there is no equipped weapon. They're both holstered. So with the is valid, it will check if there is a weapon in the character's hands, otherwise it will not shoot. So now I can shoot the rifle and the pistol, and also go to unarmed. So yeah, I hope you found that useful. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Goodbye.